Hello friends, this is Ed. I want to take just a minute and show you my new folding rig that I constructed, primarily using a lot of refurb parts just on my workbench. It's a open air, not in the case, so it tends to cool easily. Uh, you can see I've got a large, pretty slick looking air cooler. Kind of looks like almost like a V8. I think that's real cool looking, but given that there's good airflow, it's not in the case. I used air cooling on this rig rather than water, or liquid cooling, I should say. Two GPUs, you can see. Probably the next step in the process is I'll be adding more GPUs. I'll build a little frame that I can use a ribbon such as this, and I can mount them. The next two GPUs I add higher not only get up to 4 with this particular motherboard, but in addition I'll have better airflow and better air cooling. Also, you can see I've got an extra input for power, so I'm not drawing too much power from the motherboard. I've heard of people actually melting their 24-pin motherboard cable if they get too many GPUs on the motherboard. Here you can see the current fold that I'm doing. This is just an illustration on the monitor of the molecule that or the protein that is currently being simulated. The various colors, the darkest atoms represent carbon, the blue nitrogen, yellow sulfur, oxygen is red. On the map that you see, each one of the dots is real time where someone in the world is voting and contributing to the Stanford Voting at Home project. Hopefully our efforts will someday contribute to new drugs to treat cancer, Alzheimer's, and other diseases through a better understanding of how proteins fold within the body. My team number is 35274. I refer to this particular rig, I've got it labeled as Ed Sled, although it's really just a workbench that I have grounded with a strap to work. I use it when I work on computers. Also, when I add more GPU cards, I'll be adding additional power supplies. I'll be able to connect the 24 pin for the next supply to this particular device, which will then turn it on when the main power supply turns on. Probably not as efficient power-wise to have more than one power supply, but it's cost-wise, you can get more watts per dollar in your initial purchase. I primarily fold full speed in the winter time, so that any heat that I generate ends up, or pardon me, the electricity I use ends up getting used as heat, which helps to heat the basement. And you can see this particular rig, I don't know if you can see or not, but at the bottom it's pretty powerful, getting over 100,000 points per day. Right now I have it underclocked, and I've got relatively, if you can make it out, relatively cool GPU temperatures, 71 centigrade on the hottest GPU. I'll continue to work with it as the weather gets cooler, the basement gets cooler. I'll clock it up and probably overclock it to some degree. I've got this particular utility allows me to set my fan speed versus temperature myself, and I've got that set once it reaches 70 degrees centigrade. You can see then I've really steepened up the curve and got pretty aggressive with my fan speed if it ever reaches that point. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing my new rig. This is my little work area in the basement, my domain. A little bit of leftover plaques from my coaching days. Again, hope you've enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Take care.